Hello, and welcome to Dolphin's Dive, the weekly strategically minded Handelabra stream hosted by Logic Dolphin. Handelabra believes in civil rights for everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively work against those goals are not welcome and will not be tolerated. You can follow us at Handelabra Games on Twitch or Handelabra on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can follow me personally at Logic Dolphin on Twitch, Discord, YouTube, or pretty much any avenue. Sentinels in the Multiverse, Sentinels of Earth Prime, Bottom of the Ninth, One Deck Dungeon, One Deck Galaxy, Aeon's End, and Spirit Island are all available on Steam, iOS, and Android devices, with the exceptions of One Deck Dungeon, which is also available on Switch, and One Deck Galaxy, which is in early access on Steam. You can find more information on those games at handelabra.com. But hello, and we are here today to continue our campaign. We did this like, what, 3 weeks ago or something? So, Captain's log here. One with a score of 14, one with a score of 16, I guess. Plum Scientists versus Optimization Calibrator, Tintillawink's Guardians versus Preservation Authority. And we've unlocked, what? We have an energy, a materials, a fleet, and a one-time tech to add 2 influence to a location. Game 3 will allow us to add 2 more as long as you choose things that are new in terms of undiscovered things here. There's a random button, but as you can see, we have some checkboxes we have to fill out. So I want to hit random until we get all the checkboxes that we need. Tintillawink's we already did. Felici, we have a checkbox still. Botanists, we did. Plum, Guardians, we already did. I guess I could just like keep things the same and then randomize something else, I guess. But let's see, Tintillawink's mathematician, we already did Tintillawink's. I'm just gonna do this a few more times until I give up on the randomness getting me exactly what I want. Zip-Zap is not on our things to do. Preservation Authority we've already done. Aha, this works. Elements, Scientists, Hungry Nebula. So, the elements start with 3 energy, 2 materials, 5 diplomacy. Starting resources fuel. Base milestone is to have 20 dice in your pool. Base tech is to resolve the starbase and discard any dice used, which will allow you to add science and fleets before the end of the turn, as well as gain basically science and fleets twice in a single turn, which allows you to speed up your level ups, for instance. Can I look at this? There we go. I have to click the bottom. That's weird. All right, the scientists. Their milestones have 4 activated techs, have 5 activated techs, and as an action spend 7 tech discs, but you can use a starbase disc as a tech disc or 2 tech discs as a starbase disc. And their tech is mobile laboratories. At base, spend a fleet to launch a probe. At Federation level 3, you can spend a fleet to launch a probe or study a location for free. And at milestone, or at Federation level 5, you can spend a fleet to launch a probe and or study a location, which will, well, obviously work very efficiently. But once you're at milestone 5, or Federation level 5, you've done all the milestones, you are in the position to win the game, so you're in a very strong position. And so this helps accelerate the game, of course. So this is very tech-focused. Scientists, the elements are wanting dice, so kind of interesting dichotomy there. We're playing against the Hungry Nebula, which is the adversary that has swells in it. Ain't that swell? Hello, John. Welcome. So, each of the Hungry Nebula's adversary events has a swell effect. Instead of being placed under the deck during setup, they are shown below the adversary. At the end of the results phase, the Hungry Nebula swells X times. For each swell, players must choose 1 swell effect. Each chosen effect must be able to be fully executed. Effects cannot be repeated during a turn. If no effect can be chosen, discard 3 cards from the deck instead for each such swell. So it starts with 3. After the first confrontation, goes down to 2. After the third confrontation, goes down to 1, and then you win. In addition, If there are 4 or more influence on the adversary, you swell 1 additional time and then discard 4 influence from the adversary. And Escalate makes the adversary gain 2 influence. In addition, if there are 4 cards in the discovery zone at the start of the phase, the adversary gains another influence. So you want to try to make sure you finish a round with at least 1 card resolved. And extra defeat condition: when the deck is reshuffled, instead of revealing an adversary event, exile 1 of the spell effect cards below the adversary. If none are present, you are overwhelmed. That's basically in line with how it would typically work. Since normally event cards, the rule for overwhelming is if you reveal an event card and there is none, you get overwhelmed. In any case, after executing the spells for this turn, you are overwhelmed if the number of exiled adversary events is at least as high as your Federation level. So you are, of course, going to need to gain Federation levels before your first reshuffle, otherwise you will get overwhelmed. And you might be able to have confronted the adversary, but still, that is a one-time get-out-of-jail-free card. Spending the adversary token, that is. So you probably should work on your progress, of course. So 2 advancements on our campaign, and we've gotten these resources to start with. This is on turn 1, by the way. You start with 1 extra energy disc, or energy die, 1 extra materials die, 1 extra fleet, and this tech to add 2 influence to location is a one-time tech. You will keep the tech disc on it once you use it. That is worth noting. We're going to get 2 advancements here. We could start with a fruit, although resources are plant. Or is it fruit? Yeah, no, it is fruits, right? Don't really care too much for resources, although maybe I should. Adding 1 influence to location. Well, I mean, we already have 2. So is there any goals that I have here? I was thinking maybe the Ultra Tech die on disc 1 would be a good one. Setting dice to any values, potentially really good. Rerolls, I kind of care less about. So maybe I take the Ultra Tech die, I take the fruit, and I go down to the set 2 dice to any values. Sounds good to me. So let's see. We're starting with 4 science. Very good. Jumpstart active. There we go. And the dice are out of order. There we go. It's fixed. All right. Very good Ultra Tech roll, by the way. So I always feel pressured on turn 1 in the campaign because I have these extra dice that I only have for this turn. I want to make sure that I use them to great effect. Let's see. We have no encounters. These are all locations, so that's pretty good. 4, 4, 3, 2 cards here. So I generally like You've Got Mail, as it's one of the easier 4 science cards to claim. Although we're not the homeworld that allows you to move influence around. Although there is that swell effect for spending 2 influence from locations in play. So for instance, we could just use this to farm influence. 2 dice for 2 influence is usually pretty good. I generally don't like Ocean 1 because I never really have diplomacy, although this game I do have a lot of diplomacy, so maybe I do want to do something with that. So Sunlight requires a lot of fleets in order to even put dice down, and that's really annoying, as essentially 1 fleet is 1 die. So you have to spend 3 dice to get the first influence and then 2 more dice to get the next 2 influence. That's pretty bad cost. Is the rewards worth it? Well, tech is to roll an Ultra Tech, and if you have 3 crystals, do more, but we don't have 3 crystals. Or we can get a Materials Diplomacy Tech Star. Probably not worth. Spend a fleet to launch a probe. Could also consider confronting the adversary. If we do a probe and it gives me 3 or 4 science, we could definitely do research teams here. And confronting will reduce the number of swells, which will allow us to not have to worry too much about all these actions. We can certainly exile tech discs, as there's usually way too many. If I'm farming influence, we can always do this one. It will cost 2 dice repeatedly. But 2 dice here versus 2 dice here is about the same, effectively. Spending a science card from the starbase could be worth 1 die if we just use mobile laboratories to fund that, basically. Which isn't that bad. Exiling dice is sometimes okay, but we could probably avoid it this time and keep all the dice in the supply of this game. Especially if we do confront, as we'll only need to do 3 of the, or sorry, even 2 of these. Watch out for the bonus influencer rule you forgot all of yesterday. Yeah, I know. I know. I read that out and I was like, yeah, of course. Gotta make sure we get rid of that one. Or not, you're not even talking about this one. Sorry. I'm gonna get rid of one of these cards to avoid the bonus swell. I'm also gonna make sure we watch out for the 4 influence, which doesn't even like flash red to let you know that's gonna happen. At least I assume it does. I know that there's other things that flash red, but yeah, so I don't think we need, like, we're definitely not doing this, right? So let's go ahead and spend the fleet. Unless we want to keep this card, like, spending the fleet will get rid of one of the cards under the starbase. I could decide it's better to keep it and not, no, it's fine. Bam! And it's a 6, and that's terrible, but we also have adaptive research, which allows us to get science before the end of the turn. So if I do want to spend the 7 science here, I could do it that way instead. Because we definitely don't have a lot of materials here. And bear in mind that this is the extra, like, we have 1 extra materials, 1 extra energy this round anyway. So I'm kind of inclined to go for this. That said, hold on. Does my Ultra Tech actually change this a bit? Because I just realized this is a 6. Because I only need 2 more pips, which could be done with fleets or it could be done by making an Ultra Tech. This would cost, like, I mean, it's costing me 5 dice right now. With, if I do an Ultra Tech, it's 7 dice all day. So spending 7 dice on that versus what this would be, which is, well, a bit harder to calculate. I would have to study a location, which costs 2 to 4 dice. So, like I say, I study Hematib, then that's... I'd actually probably rather want to study a 3. Study Ocean 1, discard 3 cards. But that would cost 3 dice. So that'd be like 5 dice for that. And then... I mean, like, these were sort of free, but I mean... 7 or 5? That's the question. 5 is less, right? 5 seems less. All right, so let's take the crap ones. How much do I care about fleets, though? Like, I can't get the 3 fleets if I put those dice in. Let's just rearrange. I would probably rather get influence than to get fleets per se. I guess I could see what I can do with the remaining ones. I want to get the 2 influence there for sure. I don't care really about Hematib. I don't care about SS Sunlight. We're studying Ocean 1. I could probably just study these other 2, but... What's our base tech again? Or really any tech? Or milestone, rather. 20 dice in the pool is going to be rather hard to get unless I farm a lot of locations or get techs that give me a lot of dice. But you definitely need techs. Like, we absolutely need techs. Or also tech discs. But I don't really feel like... I don't really feel like spending fleets for SS Sunlight. I don't feel like spending... Well, I'm getting rid of Ocean 1 anyway. I don't feel like dealing with Hematib either. That said, I mean, I can get it probably next round very easily. We're studying this, so... Oh, but I'm not gonna be able to do both of those things. Oh, but like, oh yeah, and I can't even do, yeah, okay, never mind. Okay, well, so let's resolve the starbase. Do that. Okay. So we got rid of a location, so we're not going to get extra swell, and we're going to confront, which is going to put this at 2, so we only need to do 2 of these. So 2 influence and exiling a tech disc is probably the best. We could work towards leveling up the starbase, although I feel like it's a waste of these extra dice per se. But I'm not doing anything else, am I? Can I do this? 5, 3, 2? No, I don't have any 5s. Well, there is mobile laboratory, so I do want to get some fleets. So let's put those there, study SS Sunlight, and that's my turn. Spend the 2 influence. Exile a tech disc. All right, successful turn 1. Terra Infirma is here. Let's do a probe. All right, 9 science. We can't confront because we're at Federation level 2, but we actually do have the resources for that. So, yeah. So I don't have the energy for Terra Infirma. I could make an Ultratech 6. If I put all of these here, that's 11, so that's not enough. I would need slightly more. I could make another Ultratech to do that. That's a lot of dice I'm spending, and I still don't have the influence on You've Got Mail. So maybe not that. Flutara, all dice must have different values. Can we accomplish that? Sort of. I don't have a 5. This gives me 2 tech discs, or I can launch a probe, which I can already do, but I could do it twice. All the science. This is also costing 2 dice to get 1 influence, which also makes me sad. I could very easily get the 2 influence there for 2 dice. I would probably rather... Well... Yeah, I could work on Hematib. I probably want the materials more, TBH. Than the tech here for 6 energy. But I don't know. It gives me a tech disc, which, I mean, we need some tech discs. Even though we could spend Starbase discs, we do need actually at least 1 tech disc to achieve that. But yeah, if I want to do the 6s there, I don't have a 6 for this one. Not that you need the 6, because you could do 4, 3, 2, 1, but then you're wasting 4 dice on this. So yeah, kind of awkward. I mean, we also want techs anyway, so maybe I should consider techs a little more, because we're gonna probably get those milestones before the 7 tech discs anyway. I don't know. We do have a starting plant. It's not fruits, it's plants, by the way. We have a starting plant, so we can increase 2 of our dice by 2 if I claim that. Roll a diplomacy and increase 2 of your dice by 2. That's not a bad tech. You could spend fleets to make this happen, but let's wait around on Terra Infirma and think about it. We can study Flutara so that we don't get the bonus swell. Hematib I'm still hesitant about, but I could at least get the influence on You've Got Mail. Get 3 fleets. And then we could study Flutara and do a probe. Levels up the starbase, gives us leftover science. The starbase upgrade actually will allow us to do will give us 2 starbase discs, which will allow us to use more techs. But we don't have enough techs. Anyway, is there any reason to want to resolve the starbase early? I don't think so, because we're not going to repeat anything here, so we could just engage. All right. Spend the 2 influence, exile the tech disc. We're doing fine. The dice are unordered. We do have a 6. These numbers are low. So we'd have to spend a fleet to calibrate and also... Well, we don't have to spend a fleet to calibrate, but we would also need to convert numbers of these around, which is not ideal. We don't have a diplomacy or materials. We don't have a material 6, so I can't do hematip this round per se, although I could get the first influence point on it. We can do the 6-4 here as usual to fund the swell. Should probably consider spending 2 fleets instead, because that... By using this as my influence farm, it's going to permanently occupy 1 of the 4 slots, and that means I will see fewer cards, I feel like. Let's see what this is, if it matters. It was 4 science. That majorly changes this entire turnaround. Oh my god, that's a lot! I could actually spend science to roll an ultra tech. I would only be able to spend 3, because I have to keep 4 for this if I want to go for that. Yeah, I never really do this option. Let's do it. I'm gonna do it, because I can get science very easily in this game. So let's go ahead and spend the science. We rolled a 3. But that is good enough. So I can do this, and I can put that token on. So Terra Infirma is good. Remaining dice aren't that great for what I want to do. I could do a probe. I guess I could just get 3 fleets though, because we're getting science off of mobile laboratories anyway. We're not gonna have a lot of science for next turn, but we probably don't need it next turn as much. TBH. Should I spend a science card from the starbase? I think that 2 science card is fine because we want to spend it on here. Actually, I could just spend it right now. Get that influence point. So actually, yeah. We could spend a 2 fleets instead, keep the influence here, make progress on You've Got Mail, and yeah, we have an excess of fleets right now. So I think that's fine. We could use the campaign ability to add 2 influence to the location. Let's see. So we're claiming terra firma, so that gives us a plant. Tessellating sprockets gives us ultratex. We'd like to have a lot of resources for that. We could just get all these dice because we do need dice. But we also need techs, and we need tech discs. We need a lot of things. We need a lot of incongruent things. We need tech discs. We need dice. We need techs. Like all of that is conflicting. But the resource we're missing is crystal, but we're gonna probably get hematite soon or next turn anyway. So yeah, I think I take tessellating sprockets if I'm not gonna go for that. I mean, I'm not getting it this round, but just thinking ahead. Anyway, I could have done the campaign ability to put influence on You've Got Mail, and I didn't. Oh well. Yeah, this one's fine. And I just said I wasn't gonna do 2 influence. We're gonna do 2 fleets. Exile tech disc. I'm gonna go down to, I don't know, somewhere between 6 and 8 tech discs probably. So you never really need that many. Maybe more so in 2-player you would need that many. Vo is here, no dice with value 6. Needs a lot of dice to claim, but I don't know. Okay. We do have the 6s here. I need science. Remember when I didn't get science last round? Okay. So I don't really want to spend the 2 science or the 3 science card on the 2 science, but I could claim Vo by resolving the starbase and then use that towards hematib. This is what they in the showbiz call hacks. Before I do that, though, we do have Verdant Network. It does roll a diplomacy die, which is a point of no return, but it also increases 2 of my dice by 2. And then I might want to like claim fleets or something. I don't know. And I still only have, yeah, 2 tech discs plus 2 starbase discs, one of which is for hematib, but I could do 3 of these techs. I don't care for Vo. Do I care about Solwart? Eh. I guess Lattice Factory will work fine when I have hematib, as I will have more crystals to fund that, so it's rolling 2 materials dice. You love all your sons equally, you don't care for Gob. Okay. If I want to get the 2 influence and You've Got Mail, I would need to use a 6-4. Well, I don't need to. I would love to, because that's cheapest. But all my 6s are going toward hematib right now. But I could use Verdant Network to increase that to a 6 and that to a 5, which is good enough. It's still different values. So if that's gonna go there, and then that's gonna go there, then I have these 4 dice left over. I guess we could put 2 onto Solwart. And then I have this plus this die. Okay, yeah, so if I'm increasing these 2, okay, so let's do this decision first, as this roll is the point of no return. It got me a 6. So I don't actually need another 6. I just need that to be a 5. Actually, I don't even need that to be a 5. Why am I making a 5 when I already have 5s? Probably because I have no other use for them. But I could make that a 5, put it over there and save the 3s, I guess. And get another 3, so I could put it on 3 fleets if needed. So put that one there. And then we have all of those. Got 6-5 there. We need to resolve the starbase. in order to get the 2 science for this, but those are going to go there when that's done. So this leaves this die, which isn't doing anything. So I could instead do a probe. Although I do need to get one of these cards off of the discovery zone. So I do want to study Vo. So yeah, I guess this is just going to be a fleet. I don't see any other place that could die could go. Why can't I use this? Oh, I guess because... Wait. That's interesting. That's interesting. My special rule says that I can use a starbase disk as a tech disk. But... Do I have to go to the main menu to see the... I guess I do. View the rulebook. There you are. As an action, a tech disk is placed on an ability node to use its effect. Yeah. I mean... This is a permanent thing, but it does say you can use a tech disk, and you can always use a starbase disk as a tech disk. So I'm going to report that. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it, but... And this is the scientists. Is it the scientists or is it you? No, it is the scientists, right? Because the elements... Yeah, it's the scientists. Okay. I like that. Oh, actually, I can see both of these now. That's nice. I want to be able to shoot myself in the foot. Exactly. I can, not can. Bam. All right. But yeah, I'm definitely not spending a starbase disk on this, but even if I could, I wouldn't. But we're not getting the 2 influence on You've Got Mail. Which is fine because we're not claiming it this round anyway. Like, there's probably no reason to do this unless you're using it to claim a location or you have an extra tech disk that you don't anticipate having later. But yeah, so resolve the starbase, study that, and then spend the one we just claimed. Yeah, we did. All right, and then put the 6s there. Bam. Also, this is not flashing red. I was lying when I said doesn't this flash red to notify you that it's gonna happen. I lied. I think we said that we wanted to have the materials and the tech disk. This does gain us an energy 6, but our materials is really low. And oh, that's the flip side, that's why. I want to look at this though. Those are all 6s all the way down. And that's materials. Yeah, so I'm going to claim this. We do need to have a tech disk at some point anyway. I'm not studying that. I'm exiling another tech disc. We're now down to 8. We're gonna spend the 2 fleets, and then we have the bonus one from the 4 influence. 2 influence is probably better. We could spend 3 science. I would probably rather not spend 3 science. And let's see how far we can get without exiling dice. I could probably spend 1 influence from You've Got Mail and 1 on Soulwort. And that way, when I do gain 2 influence repeatedly. All right, let's. Oh, we've already. Oh. They're exiling a thing. Okay. Good to know. We're gonna do that one. The Hungry Nebula now has 1 exiled event card and your Federation level is 1. An overwhelm will occur at the end of this turn if your Federation level is not raised. Should have paid attention to that. Didn't even notice we were at a reshuffle. Oh well. So we should be able to have 4 activated techs if this counts as a tech, right? Right? We also have a Starbase disc that we can, adversary disc that we can spend. Although I would like not to. Where does it show my adversary disc, by the way? Oh, it's over here. Okay. Okay, Unseen is here. We can claim it very easily, especially with Verdant Network. But if I want to use all of these, I do have 3 tech discs. All right, let's do this one. Does it show that that's okay? There's not an active count there, but I do want to see. Actually, because that's the point of no return, let's do this one first. Okay. So we can't confront because we're not at Federation level 2. We want to have 4/4/4, so I need to increase one of those. 6/5 is enough for that. 6/4 for You've Got Mail. Unless the Sunlight is stupid expensive. I don't know if it matters what the other one is. Let's make another 4. This is also a point of no return, by the way. Mobile Laboratories. I have another spare tech disc, so let's do this one. Let's do this one. And then we want to resolve the Starbase. Let me just click this. I know there's nothing going on. Oh, that doesn't count for 4 activated techs. Okay. Good to know. Fun fact, this is not a tech for that purpose. Should it be, though? That's a question. You're correct, it's not a tech. Okay. You're right, it's just a regular ability node. Okay. All right. So we do not have 4 techs. That means that we're gonna get overwhelmed this turn, and we're also gonna get overwhelmed next turn unless I can claim a tech and be able to spend 4 tech or have 4 techs next turn. So I definitely want to claim either Unseen or You've Got Mail for that purpose then. And actually, Tessellating Sprockets will give me the Ultratech 6. So I think I do want to go for that this time. Which... unfortunately, I don't have a 3. Up to 3 somewhere. I can calibrate for a 3. That gives me You've Got Mail. It does spend some of the... I guess I don't have to spend those. I do want... okay, I want these here. I want those there. So I'd have to do another calibrate to get a 5. Don't forget this. So that will leave empty cards on the discovery zone, or empty locations or whatever. Okay. And then next turn we can start confronting again. But I don't have enough dice to do anything other than claim Soulwort, which I don't really want to do. So I guess it's just going to be 2 fleets. So definitely tessellating sprockets. If I claim Artisanal Ultra Tech, we can actually get to 5 activated techs. And then this will give me an Ultra Tech 5 every turn. On the other hand, the Starbase discs will allow me to get to 7 tech discs. So I can basically get whichever one of these next turn. But I generally like the Ultra Tech. Alright, spend 2 fleets. We are at 7 tech discs, because this one is permanently on the campaign ability. I do have a 2. I think I want to spend the 2. Oh. That's such a scary sound. Okay. I was like, wait, why did we level up? It's because the level up hasn't happened yet, of course. Of course. Because we need to actually have the 5 activated techs. Wow, that is a crap roll. Alright, so we have a roll, and we have a probe. All of those are points of no return. We do have 5 techs that we can use if we use all the Starbase discs. I don't think we're confronting per se on either side. So all of that's probably fine, but like the order of operations though, we do get a level up on the 4th tech. So like I could get an Ultra Tech 5 or 4. Wait, I don't know how to add. 2 plus 2 is 4. Yeah, if I use this as my 5th tech, this will be Ultra Tech 4. If I use it earlier, it's going to be Ultra Tech 3. So I'd want to save that for last. Unless I want it to be upped by 2 by Verdant Network, in which case I would rather it be done before that. Well, in any case, we're using this one always, right? It's always an Ultra Tech 6. So why not? We're always gonna spend a fleet. So we could up this to a 6 if we so wanted. We do have a lot of Ultra Tech, so maybe we could consider confronting. The 25 is rather steep though, especially with my low roll on the materials. The 6 could be covered with an Ultra Tech, but yeah, it would be better if I could use an energy for that. I don't have the science for that, although we can resolve the Starbase to get the science for that. Maybe I should. Claim Gurn. Use this. Oh, but I can't if I'm going to get 5 techs. I won't have any Starbase discs left. That's right. In any case, I should claim Gurn so I have the 9 science for that. Like, the advantage of spending the science is that I could hoard the science and then spend it all at once, and these 6s are really easy to do with what we have here. Like, we always have an Ultra Tech 6, and We can always use Artisanal Ultratech with Verdant Network to get another Ultratech 6. So we just need to claim Science and win, is what it is. So, okay, that's the win condition. We have what we need to win. Of course, we need to get to Federation level 4 still. So we need more tech discs or Starbase levels or things. So maybe we'll just put all the dice in here. Like, we could try to claim Nomnamud for more Starbase discs, or sorry, for tech discs, but I'd have to spend, and I don't have Starbase discs, or whatever. Yeah, words. Words. I could just study everything. Get science that way. Two, 4, 8, 12. Is this just a turn where my dice don't matter? I mean, I really don't need to do all of that. I could just remove dice. There we go. I don't need to actually... I mean, I don't need to do all that just yet. I just need to study Gurn, so let's do that. I don't even need to do that anyway, because I'm... Yeah, it literally doesn't matter. I don't know why I thought I had to study Gurn. But... get that. And then... I mean, I guess I could confront this turn if I don't do this. Oh, but I just roll. Okay, I can't undo. Up that one, up that one. I don't know. But I could have confronted if I didn't go for that, but it's fine. Okay. So you just need 10 dice for that, and then the last 3 for a probe, I guess? And then I can level up? Sure, why not? That gives me a tech disc, right? I guess I need fleets for this. Oh, and I guess I want to spend a science card, because we're not going to spend tech discs anymore. I guess I'd rather get 3 fleets than to do a probe, because my fleet count is rather low. So 2, 4, yep, that works. I want to make sure that I have a 2. So deselect those, select those. That's 10 science, and then I spend the 2 science card, leaving me with 8 science next turn. All right, my Federation level is 3. It went from 1 to 3. It's like going from 0 to 100, basically. The Unseen is here. This gives me tech discs. I only have 6 right now, so I can't spend 7. And we're not getting a level up, so if I want to do Verdant Network for Artisanal Ultratech, then I want to do that one first. But this one first, because it's also an Ultratech that you might want to boost. I do have these. I need more science. A lot of 4s and 2s, so I think I want to do a probe to maybe get a 3. And study Flutara by resolving the Starbase. Yeah, I only need one thing for that, so I can do that. So let's do a probe instead of studying, as weird as it is. Got me a 2. Well. Well. I could do a probe this way, though, for 2 dice. I don't need all those dice. Let's not put all those in. I want to... Let's go ahead and do 2 probes, because why not? We don't need to study Flutara right now, because we already got that. We got this Flutara. We have a perfectly good Flutara at home. The Flutara at home. So I don't need to do that. I just want to do 2 probes to try to get a 3 so that I spend exactly 9 science. It's all 2s and 4s all the way down. All right. All right, so if I want to do Unseen, by the way, can I do Unseen? Maybe not. Yeah, that's the way to do it. So that's that confrontation. If I want to do Unseen, I'm not doing Verdant Network. To get Unseen... I would need to spend a fleet, but I can't, so I'd have to do that. And I'm committing to this, by the way. I decided, I guess. I can't use Verdant Network, though. So... it's kind of annoying. Like, this definitely is going to go in this box. There's probably... it would be easier if I could use Verdant Network, but I guess I'm not. I don't have to claim it this round, I guess. Is it better to claim it than to spend all my resources and then not have any fleets next turn? We can get fleets out of turn. I think that's fine. But how do I get this? I guess I'm gonna have to waste something somewhere. Because that's all I can really do. I can get 1 fleet. I can get 1 fleet. And that takes out the Unseen, so we don't have the extra swell. Alright. And also we're only gonna have 1 swell. And we also don't have fleets to swell with or influence to swell with, so I guess we're gonna exile a tech disc then. Or I can spend 4 science. No, I think we can spend 1. Oh, I have to do 2 anyway. Oh, because okay. I guess I'm doing both anyway. I thought that I was gonna get down to 1, but no, it's because only, yeah. I thought we were at the 3rd confrontation, but no, we're at the 2nd. Okay. We're at 4 influence, by the way. But I can get to Federation level 4. I don't need to this round, though, although I don't think I can confront. Because again, I don't have any 3s. Also close to a reshuffle, but I don't have, like, I don't have any fleets or science really to spend as it is. Are there even any 3s in here? There's 1 3. So if I do a probe here and then I do 2 probes here, I'm guaranteed to get the 3. Actually, if I do that, I do those 2 for 1 of the 7s, and then I do... I would need to have another science card. So I'd have to resolve the starbase. But yeah, if we don't confront, we have that extra swell, so we'd have to do 3 of these. So I probably do want to confront. So I'm going to ignore uplifters probably forever. Just need to win the game. So I'm not doing this round because I want to do this. So I have all of these tech discs this round, and none of them are star-based discs. And we definitely want to do this as a probe. And then we want to get 2 more probes. Well, I guess we got the 3, so we don't have to do 2 more probes right away. But 2 probes and study Flutara. Actually, it's probably better to study Starburger and spend 2 4s. Or, yeah, the 4 there, and then 1 of these 4s. And then I spend the 2 science card for the swell. So resolve the starbase. Probe. Probe. Study. And then do the 4-3. Do the 4-4. We have the 2 science card. I guess I still need to get the 6, but I mean. We have tessellating sprockets, artisanal ultratech, and verdant network for that. Like this is how we solve that, right? So get this roll. Easy. And then increase things that don't matter, I guess. All right, we've confronted. And we need to be able to spend 2 fleets. And then we're going to get a reshuffle, so I think I don't want any more than that. Make the reshuffle as thick as possible. I mean, it doesn't really matter because we're probably going to win the game before the next reshuffle. But it feels fun to be at exactly... Wait, I'm going to get these 2 fleets and that triggers the reshuffle. Never mind. Never mind, we're going to get the reshuffle anyway. All right, well, in that case... to get another fleet and then probe Flutara or study Flutara. Get rid of exiling tech discs. Study Flutara. Spend 2 fleets and spend a science card. 2 exiled adversary events is less than 3. All right, Ocean 1 and Chelonis. All right. I need to get to Federation level 4, and then I win the game. But I do need 2 tech discs to do that, or just have that. So yeah, let's spend 7 to get that. We only have 1 tech left over now. So is there any chance we can do this? We have 17 here and we have 8 here. The answer seems to be no. But that's okay, because we could just go for this next turn or something. So get as much science as we can. This gives me 2 dice. More dice means more science, right? I guess I could have done like mobile laboratories and that's also more science. Whatever. Too late. 4, 7, 10. So I have 1 extra die. Because I can only probe once with that. If I do 2 probes, that's 9 dice. 9 dice left over. Not enough to really do too much. So I guess it's 1 fleet then. Then we spend the fleet on the swell and keep the signs. And don't upgrade, I want the signs. Okay. We need more science. Do we have 9 exactly somehow? Yes, we do. So just do a probe. I can't pay for that tech. You're right. Fair enough. So just do a probe. Excellent. Wrong color. And then I will use this one because I don't feel like rolling. Excellent. Your civilization has fought off the threat and formed a federation that will bring prosperity to your corner of the galaxy. The Hungry Nebula has been sustained and is no longer a threat to your federation. Yay! So we have won. Have we ever lost on Dolphin's Dive ever before? Is this game really hard if you always win? Alright, next game in the campaign. Hit random until... Oh, actually, that worked. Plum Plim Mathematicians against the Dark Star Syndicate. Cool. Okay. Yeah, so I just realized after I'd done all the random last game, I could have just looked at this until I seen all these highlighted, because I want to get, you know, all of the campaign check marks. Anyway. All right, so we have Plum Plim, which is 3 energy, 4 materials, 3 diplomacy, starts with plants. Base milestone is to have 16 science. Base tech is floral ingenuity. Move any number of influence from one location to another. Here's where you can actually farm influence. Mathematicians, also known as the worst society. Milestone 1, end of turn, have exactly 15 influence at Discovery Zone locations. Yuck. End of turn, have exactly 11 science and exactly 11 fleets. Yuck. Action, discard dice totaling exactly 66. Yuck. Dice in your pool with the value in storage can be used to fill a small box of any color and value. Well, what's the storage for? Well, you have precise calculations. At base, you can roll a die from the pool and place it in storage. You may spend 1 fleet to calibrate it. At Federation level 3, roll a die from the pool and place it in storage. You may spend up to 2 fleets to calibrate it. At Federation level 5, you now just place a die from your pool in storage, set it to any value. But yeah, are you ever going to hit Federation level 5 with the Mathematicians, really? Also, we're doing Dark Star Syndicate. Starts with a random event. The Dark Star Syndicate launches various experiments during the game. Each time an event is revealed, remains in play face up as an experiment with negative effects until shutdown. Dice placed in experiment boxes cannot be removed once placed, but are returned to the general supply during reset. During the action phase, you can move science from the starbase to an experiment. If there are now enough science to satisfy 1 or more goals, you gain the benefits immediately. Each goal is only claimed once per game. When the shutdown goal is reached, the science is discarded and the experiment moves to salvage, displaying new dice boxes and disc rings. So what is all that about? Well, unlike most adversaries, Dark Star Syndicate doesn't actually gain influence. At the start of the adversary phase, instead of gaining influence, the adversary gains the top card of the deck as science. At the end of the phase, if there are more revealed events as experiments plus salvage than your Federation level, you are overwhelmed. And yeah, so unlike most adversaries, I can't actually zoom in on this, but there's no 2 confrontation sides. There's the confrontation side. There's also the stop the finale side. And you don't actually flip between the two of them. You cannot freely flip the confrontation card. During setup, it is placed with rhetorical banishment face up. If there are ever at least X science on the adversary, they are discarded, and the confrontation card is flipped. If the confrontation card is already on the stop the finale side, its instructions are followed instead. So X starts at 9 and goes up. You have to confront with diplomacy and then those things. But if you go to the stop the science or stop the finale side, if all the boxes below and in salvage are filled during the results phase, this card is flipped and the lowest science card from the adversary is discarded. Yeah, so they flip by getting up to X science. They discard all of it. When you stop the finale, you discard the lowest science card from the adversary. However, if they get back up to X science on the adversary, discard the highest science card and also 10 cards from the deck, which is bad because that means that it reshuffles faster. Now at base, you just need 14 diplomacy and 14 of any color, but this gets harder with all of the salvages that appear. But the salvages only become a thing if you just shut down the experiments. So you could ignore the experiments and make the finales easier to stop, but the experiments actually make harder rules for you in general, such as, for instance, the inoperability taxes, which says that Ultra Deck dice may only be used as if they were a color of dice on this card. So like if you we have the salvage here, it says you may place dice in the salvage area for this card, but if you don't put a die on the salvage area, you cannot use an Ultra Tech die as a color that doesn't match placed dice. So that's one of the possible events. There are 4 more. And yeah, the escalation adversary gains the top card of the deck as science. Yeah, so we get 2 more things here. I think we're working towards setting 2 dice to any 2 values. So let's just claim an extra material and an extra fleet for the startup. Start with 2 science. And, oh boy, this is a terrible one to start with. Mandatory sightseeing. For each card added to the discovery zone, spend 1 fleet. If none are available, discard 2 cards instead. Well, there goes my fleets. Also, they start with 4 science. This is literally the worst. Literally the worst. Wait, why'd I only do 1? For each card added to the discovery zone, spend 1 fleet, but it spent... Oh no, I see. It looked weird. But we did discard a lot of cards. We got down to 0 fleets. Then we discarded 4 cards. There's 2 more cards here. One of them is from Time Passes. And I don't know where the other one is. Or what the other one is. No, one was the fleet, right? Yeah, the fleet card is itself a card. Time Passes was one of them. The fleet card that our 2 fleets counted as 1 card, so that's one of them. And we discarded 2 cards for each of the remaining 2. Okay, yeah, so that's why we're at 6 discards. However, we do have 2 fleets because of the startup, so that's good. So if we decide to study a location or to claim it or whatever, we're going to have to spend a fleet to replace it. This is the worst one to really start with at the start of the game, but it's probably not terrible throughout the game. Because bear in mind that if we do shut this experiment down, then whenever we need to stop the finale, we will always need to be able to spend 4 fleets to do it. And I feel like we'll probably spend fewer fleets for cards in the Discovery Zone than we would like focusing on this, right? Because I mean, if we shut it down, we gain these bonuses. We can get up to 4 fleets, which kind of counters the cost, I guess, of what we put on the Discovery Zone. But Yeah, I think it's probably like this. Like, even though this was terrible for the first round because we could put 4 cards in the discovery zone, it's probably better to just have out. So we could just focus on this. We do need to get Federation levels though, which is made a bit difficult because getting science usually requires studying. But if I study, then I have to spend a fleet to replace it, which means it's going to be harder to get fleets. So, yeah. Are we ever going to be using this? I guess we could try to confront. Makes it so that the X is smaller, but X is just about what they need to flip the thing. But I mean, like, we could just try for it. We don't have a diplomacy 6, but we do have precise calculations. We could roll a dice from our pool, place it in storage, and since we have every number, we could use that to like fill this, right? Dice matching a value in storage can fill a small box of any color and value, basically turning into Ultra Tech 6s in a sense. Although for things like ice cream, it actually still matters. And we do need to get at least 1 Federation level before the next reshuffle because we get overwhelmed if they have more revealed events. So a lot of these are really hard to do. This one seems like we're really close to, but bear in mind that we have extra dice on our startup, so like we're not gonna really be that close. We only have 10 dice, really, right? And even if they're all 6s, that's 60. Which is less than 66, so we're never going to get that until we claim more cards. So probably just getting 16 science is the easiest one, and then after that we could work towards exactly 11 science and exactly 11 fleets. And hopefully by the time we have these, we haven't done a reshuffle so that we can then spend the science in the fleets and have a thick reshuffle. So I think that's what we want to try to do. So we have Floral Ingenuity that allows us to move influence from one location to another, so we can use this ability to add influence to location and move it to wherever we really want it to be. Are any of these locations good for farming influence? Ice Cream theoretically is fine as long as we have no identical dice, but we can't actually do it this turn. Unless we somehow do really good with precise calculations, I suppose. Zabfab Mine... I don't know. I mean, we'd probably want to confront, right? So, and ideally we're using these here and this one here. So I could roll like this one, and if it matches, like I have one of each number, so it doesn't really matter what number I roll with this. I'll always be able to place one of these dice into that 6. Probably just roll this one instead. Doesn't matter the color. The Ultra Tech is probably slightly more valuable, but only slightly because it's a 1. That said, Hexfinity doesn't like Ultra Tech dice. If I'm working towards Hexfinity, I would need to be able to spend science or fleets for it, which is dice, which I don't like. But yeah, there's not really any good influence farming at the moment. Watercomb Greenhouse, we start with 2 plants, so actually this would increase 3 of my dice by 1. So that's a pretty viable tech. But also having the energy and diplomacy and tech disc on the colony would be pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to use this. Let's roll that one. Okay. And so we still have that bug where we don't know how to calibrate. We can't move this, so I can't put it over here to calibrate with that, and there's no pop-up for the increase or decrease. This is the bug that John had yesterday. So, I don't need it calibrated though, because I'm just gonna do this. Yes, I'm putting a yellow 6 into a blue 6 box. Deal with it. It's not the best, but I mean, it would have been nice if it was a 1, as I'd be able to use these for any boxes, but alas. Yeah, so that means we can't do ice cream. We can't do Hexfinity. I guess I could calibrate this and I could do Hexfinity that way. But then I lose a fleet, so I can't actually do it that way. I don't want to get Flutara. Flutara sucks. I don't want to get Zabfad. Watercomb greenhouse off of ice cream is eventually fine. Xfinity's inversion storage or dice are generally good, so yeah, there's no real influence farm here, so I want to study Flutara and Zabfab and hope to get better locations that I could influence farm with. That leaves me with 2 dice, which is not enough to probe, so I'd want to get fleets. Bearing in mind that when I do study, I have to spend fleets for that anyway. So let's go ahead and use this campaign ability. Since I have the extra tech disc. I mean, you could wait until you know which location you want to study, but we could always move influence with Floral Ingenuity later. So let's put it on Hexfinity. Maybe ice cream? I guess it doesn't matter because we can always move it, so let's put in Hexfinity for now. The other thing is, I guess we want to keep those out because we can use them to get the 15 influence down the road. And another argument is that if I want to leave these out, they're going to have influence cards on them if I wait, and I want to make sure I have a thick reshuffle, so maybe I don't do that yet. Yeah, let's hold on. Let's hold on. All right, we've confronted, so that's good. They gain 3 science. And we spend the 2 fleets for that. Yeah, I got confused because this bottom number is not updating like as fast as you would expect it to, but the upper count does. It's weird. Could be an animation speed bug. All right, we can't confront. We need to get Federation levels. These 3 locations do have a lot of influence that we could throw on them. Extract Aqueduct. I'm not going to have 3 waters. I presume that dice are better than 1 Ultratech die. But yeah, we're trying to get to 16 science. I guess I could leave out, I wanted ice cream. I was gonna say if I take these 2 off, I could leave these 2 out and I could use these as the influence for 15 influence, because I could have 7 here and 8 here. It won't claim either one and I'll be at 15. But I want to claim ice cream. I don't want to study it. But I need to get to 16 science. So maybe I just forego the 15 influence thought for a second and just focus on the science. So I could use this to study 2 4s and the 2, and that will put me at 16 science. In so doing that, though, we're going to spend 3 fleets, which I don't have, so maybe I don't want to do that. If I want to get a reasonable number of fleets, I'd have 8 science or 8 dice left over, which could study 2 4s, but that still wouldn't actually get me to 16 science. I guess I could try to work towards 11 science first, or 11 science, 11 fleets first, maybe. I don't know. So if I do a probe and I study the 2, I will have 5 more science. I need exactly 11. Yikes. But I can do my scroll wheel to do this. That's cool. But yeah, I'll be at 12 science, 7 fleets. I'll have to get rid of one of the sciences somehow. I'm sure there are ways to do that. Like Hexfinity, I guess. Okay. Wait, why did I think I was getting 3 science off the probe? I don't know why. I did, but why did I think I was going to? Probably because I was spending 3 dice and I assumed that was going to get me a 3. Alright, they are at 9, and because they confronted, that's less than 10. Yay, yes. Alright, so our goal is to get 11 science, 11 fleets. If I spend 3 on Hexfinity, it puts me at 9 science, so if I study Twinso, I'll be at 11 science. So, like, obviously it'd be nice to do it this way to gain the 2 influence. Otherwise, I could just spend 3 science and not worry about the influence on there, but I would rather probably get influence, even though it's going to be 1 less card in the reshuffle. I want to study Twinso, and then I need to get 5 fleets. That should be doable. That should do it. I only need 2 dice. It's gonna yell at me about extra dice, but I can't really do anything with these dice. Maybe? Is that true? I could put an influence on Twinso. Because I could do, yeah, I could do this. Which is 2 dice for 1 influence, but those dice weren't doing anything, and I could move that influence to Hexfinity, for instance. Yeah? Should work. Oh no, but I'm studying Twinso. What am I doing? I could do that, but I don't need to do that because I'm losing it anyway. Okay. Okay. Well, then I can't do anything with these dice. I mean, I could do, but that would take a card out of the deck, and then it's just lost. Okay. Yep, that's just it. And don't upgrade. Milestone achieved. And now they're gonna claim the card, and that will be enough science to start the finale. The finale doesn't really do anything other than pose a threat. But I don't think we need to stop it this turn, because they're gonna claim a science card. And then once I stop the finale next turn, then they remove that science card. So I think it's better to just let them do that. Like, Because then it makes the next finale one step farther away, right? All right, so now we need 15 or 16 science, but not exactly 16, so that's very easy to do. And we also want to make sure that we spend our fleets in science before the reshuffle. So we can spend fleets onto Hexfinity, although that will put a card on Hexfinity, which takes out from the reshuffle, but it is something we wanted to do. Do we dare precise calculate? I don't care for Vo. That one can just go. We wanted to get ice cream eventually. The annoying thing is that if I don't want to use precise calculations, or I don't need to use precise calculations, using it is kind of bad because it steals a die from my pool that could otherwise give me a fleet or something. So like if I don't have a use for it beyond maybe using dice, but like obviously like if I get a 5, I could place 5s in a lot of different places, but not really because I could only really put it in ice cream, and I could just get an Ultra Tech for that, which would basically be the same thing instead of having to RNG it. But say that I do want to do this. Look at that. I just made a bug. Look at that. Does that actually... Those buttons now no longer work. If you, Okay, I should probably report that because that is an actual bug. It's just a UI bug though. If you like insert it but then like remove it before the animation finishes, it pops up these buttons and then yeah, but they don't do anything because there's nothing to calibrate. That's funny though. Okay. Yeah, what I wanted to do is this. What happens if I like remove this die before that finishes? Do I still get an Ultra Tech? The answer is no. That works fine. Okay, so I'm doing that. I have 6 dice left over. We need 16 science. If I study Vo, that puts me at 13. I have enough for 1 probe. That probe would have to give me at least a 3. And only 2 of these 8 cards are not 3 or higher, so it's a 75% chance that works. The downside is that I have an extra die that I can't use. If I move fleets around, then, or move dice to get fleets, then I'll have at most 4 dice in the research lab, which is enough to study Vo, but not Probe. I could study SS Sunlight instead. I could study Hexfinity, I suppose, but then why did I put fleets into it? I mean, I could study SS Sunlight and then do a Probe. It's not enough to get to 16 Science. And I think I want to get to it next turn so that... because... they're going to steal a Science card. They're going to spend time. Replace one of these cards if I study them, and my Probe is also one. So there'll be 4 cards left in the deck. Might be okay. Also, Hexfinity's getting a card, so it's really 3 cards in the deck. They always spend 2 cards every turn because, unlike normal adversaries, their influence doesn't, like, skip a turn, basically, in terms of card cost. Like, because 2 influence is 1 card, but Science cards they're always taking. So it's 1 card per turn instead of 1 card every 2 turns for the influence. Yeah, so it's a bit expensive. I could get an extra die if I didn't make an Ultra Tech die and just spent my fleets to calibrate, which is probably fine, weirdly. So get that 5 back, spend 2 fleets. And then I can study as a Sunlight and do a Probe, which will guarantee that I get to 16 Science. Because if I just study Vo and Probe, I'm not guaranteed. So that's what I have to do. Okay, milestone achieved. Which is good because now I can spend the Science to upgrade. I can actually upgrade to Starbase Class 3 right now. Sure, why not? It's not like we need the Science, right? Okay. So if we confront, we get rid of a 4 Science, which is really good. If we wait 1 round, they could put 2 Science down, and then they discard the lowest cost. So we would like to confront. Those aren't good for confronting, as it turns out. Geez, that's a really bad roll. By the way, I don't have any Science, so I can't roll any Ultra Techs. Maybe that's an issue. Okay, I can't use precise calculations for this because those are big boxes. I could make an Ultra Tech 6. I would still need to calibrate this up because that's 13 right now. I'd have to spend 1 fleet to calibrate, so that puts it at 14. And then for the other one, I have 11. Oh, actually, that's okay. I'm spending all my fleets and stuff, but we wanted to anyway. Actually, I can't count, but... oh, no, yeah, no, this is right. 1 fleet for that. Three fleets for this. And I have 1 left over. I could get rid of it just so that our discard is as thick as possible. That seems foolish. I think I want to use... oh. I think I want to use this... okay. Hear me out here. If I put 2 influence on a location, it spends a card from the deck, right? But we're going to stop the finale, which gets rid of this card. Well, it doesn't really matter anyway, but in any case, they're going to spend time and then they're going to gain a science card, and that's all they're going to do. There's no location and there's no star-based things and no influences. So I could force the reshuffle if I do this. It will make the reshuffle have one fewer card, but it means that I don't have to worry about, like, triggering the reshuffle next. I guess... No, because the revealed event card will be during the adversary phase, and it's only at the start of the adversary phase that the event card is revealed. I mean, you could argue I could just wait till next round to do the reshuffle. Because there'll be a 0-card deck, which isn't a reshuffle yet. It's only when they need to draw a card that it reshuffles. But by gaining influence or gaining fleets or science, it will cause a reshuffle. So I guess by waiting to do this until the reshuffle is imminent, the reshuffle will be a bit thicker. Sort of. And I could, like, spend this fleet before the reshuffle. Okay, so maybe that is a reason to wait. Okay. I mean, they're gonna get a new science card under here, but yeah. That was always gonna happen anyway. I don't think that changes numbers really in terms of the reshuffle size. They gained a 2. Fools. I don't know why this says 2 fleets to calibrate when it's just 1. Weird. Okay. Oh no, because we are Federation level 3. No, we are at level 2. I did even... we are at Federation level 3. Oh, doesn't feel like we're at Federation level 3, but we are. Okay. Yeah, we did all that things to get Federation levels in the first cycle of the deck. Right, never mind. Ignore me. Okay. Yeah, so since I don't have 2 fleets or 3 science, I can't actually get influence on Hexfinity this round. Ooh, if I move 1 influence from Ice Cream to Hexfinity, that will trigger the reshuffle. That's interesting. Since you can only gain 2 influence to Hexfinity by itself, and since it needs 9 influence to be claimed, it's probably better to move 1 influence over. As weird as that is. Otherwise you lose an influence, basically. I think I do want to get inversion storage, because that gets me material 4, energy 4, diplomacy 4, instead of rolling them and them being random values, which are on average 3.5, which is less than 4. That said, we do probably want to get it to 8 influence and then try to get 15 influence anyway, so... Let's see, what can we do? If we put 8 on here and 6 on here, we just need 1 somewhere else. Although... I could actually try to claim Ice Cream this turn, but... We want to get to 15 influence probably before we claim the locations, because otherwise... Yeah, I don't know. So where are our numbers at? We have 2 of each number except for 1. So I'm inclined to use precise calculations rolling the 2, and if it hits 3, 4, 5, or 6, well, 6 would be the worst, as I could already just use those. 5 would also be kind of bad, as I could just put that 5 in there, but although I could just then put that 5 in there. So 4 or 3 would be pretty good. 2, I guess, is acceptable. It would allow me to save these for the 15. Yeah, let's go ahead and roll the 2. It hits 5. Aha! There's the box we were looking for. We found the box. Is there... I guess 4 is strictly better than 5, although I guess it's a fleet. But we did want to spend the fleet anyway. Okay. So that card's in the discard now. We can now do this. Oh, but identicals. Oh. Oh, identicals. Bollocks. Okay, so we're not doing the 5 then. I guess actually, wait, hold on. If I do this... I just need 4, but I could get an Ultra Tech here instead. Okay. That puts 5 influence on there, which will claim this. So let's move 1 influence across to Xfinity. Oh, let's move 2 influence because I don't want... I want this to have 8 influence. This to have 6 and then something else. It doesn't trigger the reshuffle because we'll just move this card over, right? But the reshuffle will happen with the influence, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like, we can't add any more cards to the discard anyway. And we have 3 dice left over. We could study Zabfab and then use it to get influence on Hexfinity, or we could gain 2 fleets and then have 1 die left over. I guess that would be 1 fleet. I guess studying Zabfab costs a fleet because of the mandatory sightseeing, so it's actually better to go for the fleets directly, because this would cost basically 3 science, and yeah, it would also discard cards. So let's just get fleets then. Screw the science. Alright, event card set aside. Don't study. Adversary gains science. Inoperability taxes is now active. You may place dice in the salvage area. Ultra Tech dice may only be used as if they were a color of dice on this card. So. We are at 11 influence right now. I just need to gain 4, and I have this campaign ability still. So if I put 2 influence on Hexfinity and I put 2 on Zabfab with the campaign ability, then we'll have 15 influence. Right? I don't want to put it on any of these, or these, I don't want to put them on Ice Cream or Xfinity because I don't want to claim them. I need the influence to sit out for a sec. But then when I have this 2 influence, 8 and 5 is 13 and 2 is 15, so then we get it. Cool. So don't gain any more influence. Can we confront? Our numbers are terrible for this. We're probably going to start confronting once we claim these cards, is what's going to happen. So let's just get Science and Fleets this round to help us with next round, I guess. You definitely want Fleets to replace the cards that are going to be added. We would like to have some Science, I guess. How much Science do we want? We could study Vo and do 2 probes. That's fine. Alright, we're at 9 Science now. Got the 15 influence. We're at Federation level 4, so we can win the game. And the finale is active again. So... if I do this, and I move 1 influence from Ice Cream over to Hexfinity, I claim both of these. And that will put a lot of cards back in the discard, and I'll finally have... I was going to take Watergum Greenhouse, but Ultratechs are worse. Inversion Storage is really good with 3 5s now, so maybe I want the dice instead? Although this still would increase 3 dice by 1. I guess, well, I could put dice on here to use Ultratechs if I wanted, I guess, but... And the remaining milestone is to discard 66. Discard dice totaling 66. Inversion Storage could help with that, honestly. It's going to give me 15, which makes the milestone easier, but we don't need it anymore. Could we try to claim Zapvap for some reason? We could. No, I can't because Ultratechs are now worse. I can't use them for... I can't make Ultratechs anymore. Well, I can, but I can't use them until I place them in this box because dice... Ultratech dice may only be used as if they are color dice on the salvage area there, so... I guess I can actually roll an Ultratech if I put 3 Science on here. But again, I can't use them. I also can't stop the finale with all these dice over here. Maybe I want... Oh, but there's no Science under them right now, so I don't care about it yet. I guess I could put things on Rice Twin. All dice there must be the same value. 2 dice for 2 influence isn't bad. I could do a... Well, I'd have to spend 2 fleets for this, but I could get another thing on there. But we're gonna lose these 2, right? So... we're gonna spend 2 fleets on the replacements. So maybe I should get fleets back, although these numbers aren't too good. Get 2 fleets. and study Rice Twin. Oh no, what? I'm already putting fleets on there. Probe is. Oh, I could get. Okay, I could do 3 fleets by doing this, and then do a probe. Okay. So I guess I'm not taking this anymore. I mean, we need diplomacy anyway, and energy also helps. And the tech disk, which allows us to use inversion storage. We're at 13 science. We could upgrade, although it would be at a waste. So it's not. They gain 3 science. We would like to stop the finale. Solidarians are here. We're at 57, so it's not close. Spend 2 fleets to add an influence to each location. Oh, I don't think I care about that. Not at this point. I think we'll just claim Rice Twin and Zabfab and then just work towards finishing the game. That said, we want to try to do this first. And that works with an excess. Okay. So yeah, I can't take Zabfab with what I got. Since my diplomacy is going here. And Ultratech won't help. I guess I could do something like this to get Rice Twin, and then I just need to replace things here, and that also works. Okay. Because then I could move influence from here to here. And that gives me Rice Twin. Roll a roll materials and increase the die by up to 4 is what that's gonna be. So is the diplomacy die better than increasing a die by 4? Bearing in mind I need diplomacy for this. Probably better to just take the dice. We're not working towards Solidarians this round, but that's okay. So yeah, then I don't really need Zabfab anymore. I just had influence on there, so I wanted to use it, but I don't really need it per se. This re-rolls 1 die and rolls the energy or gives me energy material. So I guess I could study Zabfab, study Solwart. Although we are close to a reshuffle, so I probably don't want all that science. I could just leave it sitting out there and claim fleets. And then use the fleets next turn to do something. Spend the science on something next turn. We could spend the science to study inoperability taxes, basically, but I guess we want science to upgrade. The upgrade is 12. So if I study Zabfab, I'm at 16. Discard everything but the 4, I'll have 4 science, and that, yeah. So I get 3 fleets and I study Zabfab. So the 3 fleets will actually put this at 6. This puts that at 5. And then 2 off of Darkstar puts it at 3, and then these 2 are gonna put it down to 1, and Solidarians also gains an influence that puts it at 0, so they don't reshuffle. So increasing a die by 4. think I want the diplomacy though. I mean, I could study Solwart instead. I think I would rather study Zepfap. I don't know. Do the upgrade, discard everything but the 4. Now let's keep the let's keep the encounter so that it doesn't go back into the reshuffle just yet. Now he stopped. We gain science, time passes, they put cards to the discovery zone, we spend fleets. Okay. So we want to spend our fleets and science as much as we can. Even I spend all my fleets, I can't discard 66. That's fine. No one cares. I don't know if that's better or worse. Exact number versus lower number. This is a bit crappy. I can't hit 25 right now. Which is pretty crappy. And then I could like do something like this, but I can't. So if I cover this though, I could put that there, but then I need to replace what I put in. I mean, I could put the science and fleets over here, but to try to get the discard as thick as possible. We might just win before the next reshuffle, so it probably doesn't matter. But I need to do another of those and then calibrate it. All right, so that confronts. I suppose there's a chance that precise calculations works, and I can cover these with these. I mean, I would calibrate this down to a 1. Or these up to a 2. But it would require me to have to get rid of something here to roll with, basically. Also, I can't calibrate because I have to spend all my fleets on these. So actually, no, it doesn't work. That's okay. Solidarians can gain 1 more influence without gaining a card. That's fine. I guess if I were to get rid of Solidarians, I would put the influence back into the discard, making it thicker. But I don't think I care right now. So what do I want to do? Do I want to get cards triggering the reshuffle? Do I want to wait on the reshuffle? I think I can wait. I think honestly I just don't gain fleets or influence and I just force the reshuffle on the next turn. Yeah. Except they resolve it immediately, so it doesn't work. All right, Technosiphons. To place a tech disc on a tech, you must also place a tech disc, a starbase disc, or a die of value 3+ here. So techs are harder to use. That's okay, because we're not really using anything other than inversion storage at the moment. So we have tech discs left. They gain another 4? They did, jerks. We're at 58. But now the right side is colorless, so it should be easier to attain. costs all of my pips. But there we go. Now. So I want to do solidarians instead. All my pips are tight over there, so I can't actually remove dice from there, really. So I don't think I can use precise calculations. So I don't really have any ones, and I can't use my fleets to calibrate. I'd rather confront than deal with the solidarians. The escalation is just they add a science card, and that's okay, because we'll just win before that. I mean, they're like, unless they were to only get a 2 science, they would only... They're probably going to flip the adversary card anyway. So I think it's fine. We need more fleets and science next turn anyway. Like, we need to gain fleets and science in order to do the final confrontation anyway. So let's use the remainder to gain fleets and gain science. And now at Starbase Class 4, we get a discount on studying, so we could study the 3. We could probe. I guess if we study this, then we have to spend a fleet to replace it. So probably probing is better, because we do need to have fleets. I don't need that many fleets, to be fair, but... let's just probe for now. Oh, they weren't gonna flip. Also, yeah, well, yeah. Well, okay. They were always gonna flip because of the because of the encounter, but I mean, because we confronted them, we upped the number to 12, so actually it was less likely they were going to flip anyway, but it's okay. We still needed fleets and science, or a turn to get fleets and science anyway, so we can just spend this turn, stop the finale, and then use the remaining dice to get fleets and science. So how many do we need? We need 12 science, 8 fleets. Oh, that's very easy. It's very easy. We'll overshoot the fleets, we'll overshoot the science, and then we don't need to worry. We can even get more things. Like, what do we want? Anything? I guess we could take science as ultra text, which could be helpful. This is only diplomacy, though, and it should be really easy. So at worst, we have to put a diplomacy die here and then convert the remaining dice to ultra text, but that should be easy. Yeah, I'm not concerned. We have a lot of science. Hopefully I didn't do too many fleets. I guess I have to spend 2 fleets. Maybe I should have gotten more fleets than science. Oh well, too late. It's okay because we have a lot of pips. And our diplomacy is really good. Do we happen to have 66 this time? 69. Nice. All right, do that, win the game. You have proved the Dark Star Syndicate wrong with your Federation's success. And we're now at 56. Yay. Yeah. Cool. So With the next game, we'll be able to set 2 dice to any values. We only have like 2 games left in this campaign, by the way. But we can definitely get to the set 2 dice to any values, which is really helpful. And then I don't really think this is particularly helpful. I would probably just go towards having the resources. Bear in mind, you can't ever fill this out entirely because you can only place like 12 or get 12 bonuses basically in the last game. But yeah, our campaign is going pretty well. Because we're too good at this game, I guess. But that will be it for this week. Thank you for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed your stay. This was Logic Dolphin here with Dolphin's Dive. We stream a random day every week. And next week, let's see, I am working Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So I guess that means my next stream would be Thursday. Although I do have to be at work super early Friday morning, so it's probably going to be early in the day on Thursday. When do I work Wednesday night? Oh, I'm out at 5. Okay. Yeah, Thursday, let's say, I don't know, just hypothetically, we'll say 2 p.m. on Thursday. So you can check me out next week. We'll continue this campaign, probably finish it because it's only 2 more games. But yeah, you can check me out next week, Thursday at 2 p.m. Also check out Handelabra Live Tuesday at 3 p.m. to see content before it is publicly available. I don't know what John's plans are for this coming stream, but he went with One Deck Galaxy this week. He did Spirit Island the past several weeks. He might play Sentinels and do Oblivion as he plays that fairly regularly. So you can look forward to that. Handelabra products include, of course, One Deck Galaxy that we just played, but also Sentinels of the Multiverse, Sentinels of Earth Prime, Bottom of the Ninth, One Deck Dungeon, One Deck Galaxy, Aeon's End, and Spirit Island. All very excellent products. Check them out. The game's base level's pretty cheap. DLC do add up, but it's all worth it, trust me. And they are all digital implementations of physical board games, which you could pick up instead if you so desire, but then you have to do things like tracking, which is so 2010. Anyway, these are all very excellent games, and I'm glad that Handelabra has been working hard to produce these to the digital tabletop. But thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night. I'll see you next week. Peace.